Join Dr. Jawanza Kunjufu for his presentation of Developing Positive Self-Images and Discipline in Black Children. Dr. Kunjufu presents realistic guidelines and positive developmental concepts for helping Black children cope and achieve.
Before we look at the workshop on developing positive self-images and discipline in Black children, my major position remains the same. I believe the children are actors, and they act out what they see in us. If the teaching 201 cannot get along to teaching 203, you have the exact same problems with children. If parents tell their children, don't do as I do, but do as I say, they have not taught them what's correct. They're taught them to be inconsistent. I repeat, children are actors, and they act out what they see in us. And I believe my workshops can be informative, but they cannot change attitude, and I'm very disappointed about that. I work hard with regards to research, but certain things cannot be changed, especially with regards to attitude. What am I getting at? As we begin to look at trying to close the gap or improve Black student achievement, my major concern is you cannot teach a child that you do not love. And there are large numbers of children in classrooms where they are not loved. I also believe you cannot teach a child you do not respect. And there are large numbers of Black children in classrooms where they are not respected. And then last but not least, I also believe you cannot teach a child you do not culturally understand. In other words, we have integration, or should I be clear, desegregation. But we have many teachers who don't understand the culture of Black children. And you cannot teach a child you do not culturally understand. The program is called Closing the Gap, trying to close the gap between Black and white student achievement, trying to increase Black student achievement. For example, the average white European child on the Iowa, California test is scoring at the 60th percentile nationwide. The average white European child in America on the Iowa, California test is scoring at the 60th percentile nationwide. The average Black African-American child in the same test is scoring at the 30th percentile nationwide. Now, what explains this 30-point differential? There are at least 5 different reasons, and I'm in trouble if you give me more than the 5 I'm looking for. But there are at least 5 reasons for this gap. What do you think contributes to this differential between the average white child scoring the 60th percentile on the Iowa and California test and the average Black child scoring the 30th percentile on the same test? What are some of the reasons? Okay, and your first name is? Shirley. Couldn't even get a water break because you answered so quickly. So Shirley, I think it's number 4 on my list, and that's the cultural bias of the test. And Shirley, I like to call that the curriculum, not just the test, but the curriculum in terms of their cultural biasness. I want to also look at the issue of methodology, learning styles, and I want to look at what you just mentioned, and that's evaluation design, the test itself. Any other reasons besides the curriculum, methodology, evaluation design? Any others? Yes. First name?
Gwen.
Gwen.
Perhaps expectations?
From whom?
From the teacher.
Okay, very honest group, Gwen. Gwen, that's number 5 on my list. It's not that I place in this category because of its significance or importance. I simply want to save the best for last. I want to talk about everybody else first, and then we'll begin to talk about you. So Gwen, we'll be getting to you in a few minutes. Any others? Yes, first name?
Richard.
Richard.
Expectations from the parents.
Okay, and Richard, that's number 2 on my list. Parental involvement and support. I was wondering if this group would blame the one we love to blame the most. That's the parents. First name?
Lois.
Lois.
I think the child's expectations.
And Lois, do you mind if we also connect that to self-esteem for students? Okay, so in this case, we're looking at student self-esteem. Now, there's one more. There's probably a lot more. But the other one that we have to have in order to continue, and that's why we have it in the number 1 position. It's so difficult to identify, and that's the peer group. We are very concerned about the peer group. Now, I'm very proud of this particular group because in most workshops across the country, beside these 4, and the one we were also looking for was the peer group, many times people say, well, it's ability. There's at least 1 or 2 persons in this audience that believe it's ability. And then every once in a while, we get someone who also looks at the environmental factors, racism, economic deprivation, sexism. And we acknowledge that. There's no way in the world that these stats are not also affected by economic deprivation and racism and sexism. We see in our workshop like this,
What is good, my people? We are live back again with another live broadcast on the forecast. What's going on, Cassidra? How you doing?
What's going on? Had a good day today, I tell you. You on time, huh?
Yeah, we right on time today. I was struggling. I made it though.
I know. You did good.
Yeah,
You did good. You did good. Yeah.
Yeah, we was trying to get back to the 8:30.
Yeah. 8:30 is a good time.
Mm-hmm. And shouts out to Bakari in the building. I appreciate you coming through, my brother. Of course.
Hey, Bakari. Hello,
Um,
Bakari.
yeah. So yeah, consider you already know. We touch on some of the topics a lot of people don't want to talk about
Of
or
course, this
listen
is a
to.
hard topic, and we're not done because I know I came up with one for next week, and I saw it. I'm looking at it in person with a friend of mine, and she's been dating some crazy stuff, right? Crazy guys, and got a really nice guy and don't like him. I'm like, what the
Mm.
hell? He's perfect, but she doesn't like him, and I'm like, I want to talk about that. That needs to be a really good conversation. That really needs to be a conversation.
Yeah, I think that's gonna be a
You
good
know.
conversation because I do have something to say about certain things about that on the other side too about the really nice guy, you know what I'm saying? But and
Yeah,
also like
yeah,
yeah, we definitely need to talk about that. Shouts
yeah.
out to
That
Mason in the building. Appreciate you coming
matron,
through, Mason.
hey,
And
absolutely.
make sure y'all subscribe to her. She gonna be reading. She'll be back tomorrow. I think she's gonna be back on. But she reading some really good books and like a lot of good information, you know.
Awesome. I'm about to check it
Uh,
out.
yeah. All right. So now consider I want to show you something. Now it's gonna go into what we're talking about, but you know, it affects us overall, you know, just abuse mentality where you know you can't leave your abuser alone. Um Now, first of all, look at this one. A black student at a college in Pennsylvania, they carved a racial slur into his flesh. Right? I ain't even look at none of the news stuff, but
Oh wow. Really?
yeah.
Oh.
Hmm.
And of course he forgave, huh?
He probably is sitting right here forgiving him. I ain't even look and see if he forgave him. I only saw the video. Hold on, I'm gonna play.
Can I offer you a
I ain't watched
compliment?
the news one. I just watched the regular one.
Okay.
Like I said, I was rushing on some of this stuff.
Held
So
tonight at Gettysburg College, centered around the racist message carved into a student's skin. Seth Kaplan has more.
That big meeting was in the building here behind me. This is one of those stories that when we first heard about it in the newsroom, we said, how can that be true? But it was allegedly true. Allegedly, one member of the swim team used a box cutter to etch the N-word onto another student's chest. The alleged victim is black. The student who allegedly committed the act is white. The school says,
yo, now I'm sorry, yo, cause I know I ain't been talking about these things, and I want to come back on here sooner or later. But like, how you sit there and let somebody carve in, unless you knocked out or
Oh
something?
my God. I was just wondering if he was out. Allegedly, he's getting me with this word allegedly for one, right? And for two, was he drunk, high, knocked out? What? You have to be knocked out. Or was maybe somebody was holding him down. That's the only way I can understand
Right.
that would happen. So let's just listen to see. Maybe he was unconscious. I'm hoping
Yeah,
that's what it was.
yeah. Like 4 people were standing over him, and he wasn't just
I'm,
standing there
I'm
letting them
hoping
do
he
it.
was being tied down or maybe drugged. So let's see.
Oh
is
man.
no longer enrolled here. A spokesperson didn't say whether that was his decision or the school's. We spoke with a few students who
Yeah,
are
they
in
probably
the
kicked him out.
I also feel like people are talking about it now because it's brought to the media's attention. And this event happened 2 or 3 weeks ago.
And I just feel like there needs to be a higher level of transparency with the school and the students, especially as a predominantly white institution with their students of color.
Not only is
What
there
y'all going on together?
there's also a lack of action. And I feel as though the Black community aren't being heard enough.
also spoke with other students on campus.
It's definitely uncalled for. Like, I don't know why you could even have that situation like come up to your mind, think it's a good idea in the first place. So,
and honestly, it's just a bad look for our school because that's not how everyone else.
Talking about a bad look for our
Oh,
school.
shut up.
No one's like
Oh
that.
God, I can't. Hold on, forecast, please. Hold on. You know my blood is boiling, right? I'm gonna try to let you get through this. My thing
I
is,
ain't been making you mad lately. You know I got to make you mad real quick.
this is what happens when we don't go to our own schools. When are we gonna get tired of this? When? How much more of this do we have to subject our children to? Our children are so brainwashed now, they're not even thinking about leaving that school. They're not even thinking about going to an HBCU. Why? I mean, we have to get back to this. What's it going to take for us to get back to our own? How many more stories of this? We hear this every week, every day, right? We got one of these in the news. Why? They don't like you. They don't want you around. When are we going to get the hint? But y'all still forcing your way, just like you forced your way into eating their food that they spat in, throw it on the floor, spit in your face, and you still forced them to feed you. What is wrong with us? That's mental illness at its best. And you still hanging on. He'll figure, tell you, I don't want you to buy none of my stuff. We'll go and spend millions on his stuff. What the hell? When are we going to get it? But go ahead. I'm gonna try to get through this one. Go ahead. I'm gonna try to let you. I'm gonna mute my mic for this one. Go ahead.
Yo, and shouts out to Raw in the building. Appreciate you for coming through, Raw. But you know that, and this, you see how it ties into what we're gonna talk about in a few minutes.
Still, I guess getting kind of my thoughts across on it, but it's so messed up, and the fact that people can even think like that is honestly harmful. So.
You probably think like that, fool.
Released a statement from the swim team saying, in part, these days.
No, it was the black dude on the swim team. So they probably was the swim team that held him down, probably.
That's what I'm thinking. I'm hoping that's what it was, and he didn't just stand there and let the boy carve something on his chest consciously.
Yeah.
Well, go ahead. We'll listen.
Been some of the hardest of our lives. Racism has no home here, neither at Gettysburg College nor our team. We stand united in condemning the actions that took place. The statement also said that although the alleged incident took place between two members of the swim team, it did not take place as part of a swim team activity. The statement also said the university has determined this is not a potential act of hazing, and the statement gave credit to the two swim team captains for reporting the incident when they learned about it. We, meanwhile, are working to learn how all this could have happened. How you have here allegedly again.
So they like promoting two white boys that I don't know. I don't know why they promoting like two white dudes on the team, but I don't know. And then they was like, yeah, we can't really do anything about it because it's not really a crime to carve.
What the hell are you talking about?
Carve a nigga on somebody, on a black man's chest.
It's not a crime. Really, it's not a crime. Okay. So therefore, if he go and carve crack on his chest is okay. I'm just saying.
Apparently.
I'm just saying, there's a story in the Bible. I'm gonna go there. There's a story in the Bible where this guy was being he did something to one guy, right? And he did something back, but the judge said that the guy that did whatever to the one guy wasn't guilty. So the one guy who brought the other guy up on charges did it to the judge and walked out. You feel what I'm saying? So that means that if you're telling me he's not guilty, then that means I can go do the same thing to him with no charges. That's what I'm saying, right?
Yeah, I mean that's what I get from it. Like that's not a crime, right?
I mean, we just said it's not a problem, right? They didn't press charges, they didn't do so. Go to the same place and do what he did to you, to him. Simple.
Right.
Case solved. Nobody gets any charges, and we get, eye for an eye, right? Okay.
Yeah. And I would praise Cassidra for even, what I'm saying. I have to see this one. I think he talking. I ain't watched it or nothing, so it might not be. If it's not, then I'll just go to the next one. But I just want to see if he talking in this one.
I want to see
no. Yeah, I'm trying to see. I don't know if it's going to show him.
On campus, they say not so fast. Many of the details in this story are simply not adding up. They say not only have they never seen this black student on campus, but they say he may have played a part in this whole thing.
After finding out about the incident, he should have been expelled. That's it. No question.
Students not happy, addressing President Bob Giuliano and administrators at Gettysburg College over the weekend.
We do have a very strong and tight-knit community.
But it certainly has been tested after an incident on September 6th that has since made national headlines.
The racial scandal we have been covering at the school. Officials say a racial slur was scratched onto another student's body.
An unidentified student accused of carving the N-word on a black student's chest at a small gathering between the swim team. According to his family, he was the only, quote, person of color there.
And then the next day, he went to a party and was displaying it to members who were there, some people from the swim team and the captains.
So it sounds like this Negro was wanted them to do it. I shouldn't even have clicked on this damn shit. I swear I didn't know this.
Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Okay, I'm gonna go take my blood pressure pill right there.
Hold on. Maybe I'm wrong because I shouldn't even clicked on this one. I should have skipped this whole.
Oh my God, no! I gotta hear this. Go ahead.
To their coaches immediately.
The coaches suspended both students pending the outcome of an investigation. Then this, a bombshell response from the alleged victim's family that was published in the college newspaper, the Gettysburgian. It read in part, quote, that the reprehensible act was committed by a fellow student athlete, someone he considered his friend, someone whom he trusted. The student used a box cutter to etch the N-word across his chest. Our son did not choose to have a hateful racial slur scrawled across his chest, but he has chosen not to return the hate.
So I guess he just forgave them. Hold on.
So they suspended both of them. You carve his chest, but both y'all get suspended. The story is not adding up. It's they're telling half of the story here. Seriously, they're not saying how it happened. They're not saying what happened. They're not saying. So you just stood up there and let him carve your chest. Sounds like that's what happened. But you had a whole swim team there. Something's not right. The story's not being told.
He said so they're saying the family said their son didn't choose to have it on his chest, but he chose not to return. Let me play the other part of what he said. Let me see.
But has chosen to embrace the strength and diversity.
What the hell?
But has chosen.
So maybe he forgave them.
He did not choose the color of his skin tone, but has chosen to.
You know what? I chose the color of my skin tone because, like, who would not want to go outside? And you know what I'm saying? I chose my skin tone. I don't know.
I'm kind of proud of mine too. I'm just saying.
Has chosen not to return the hate. He did not choose the color of his skin tone, but has chosen to embrace the strength and diversity it represents. Our son did not choose to be shunned and isolated at the behest of some who pay lip service to inclusion and diversity.
Yo, this don't even make sense. He said the blackness makes him the diverse one. Like, no, like theirs is like a literal mutation, like a defect. It's not, yeah, I know. Hold on.
But Justin Wittig, a sophomore and president of the Black Student Union, he has a problem with the whole sequence of events.
I understand in our meetings that he asked another student for him to do this to him.
He went to like a party. I don't know if it was small or big.
He asked.
Got it on his chest, went to show, I guess like show it off. And then the captains of the students.
And that's where the divide lies. Questions as to why neither the family nor the college went to the police and chose to handle this internally without releasing the students' names.
So this should be treated as a hate crime, especially.
So consider it sounds like not only was he conscious, it might have been his idea to do it in the first place. Like,
I'm done. I have heard it all. I don't even know what to say to this, but get that boy some help.
I shouldn't even clicked on this one. Damn.
I'm gonna have to find him a therapist.
It sounded like it was his idea because it's true. Like, you ain't gonna just sit there and let somebody with a box cutter. Like, I don't care how many people holding you down, you gonna be struggling or something.
But I wonder how much of the word did he?
All of it, I guess, with the ER and everything. Like it had to be because he was showing it off like it's a tattoo.
So he's proud of that. I got nigga on my chest. What in the world?
Damn.
That is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Please get your son some help. Oh wow, I'm done. That just blew my mind right there.
Yeah, I got it. I'm curious of the rest now. Like
to the extremes of then displaying it to other people. Nobody deserves to come to school and feel like they're unsafe. This is why a lot of people choose to come to institutions to get away from things like that.
What do you think the motive is?
Personally, I just think that neither students really knew the severity of the word and what they were actually doing. And
that's a lie, because he could choose any word in the dictionary, but he chose a specific word for a reason.
Why would you choose that one? What in the world?
First of all, to let somebody put a box cutter in you gotta be messed up in the head. But anyway, consider.
Wait, Major said, remember the little boy that let his white friends call him the N-word for money? Oh my goodness, I'm done. We have really ruined our children. We have adult adult parents to blame for this. Seriously, this is our fault. Now look at what we have to now look at this mess. This is a mess. This is a mess. You go around paying them, you pay you to call you the N-word, then you turn around and pay them or get the word tattooed on your chest.
And showing it off at a party. Like, what in the world? He might be sick though. He gotta be sick
needs some
though.
help.
Yeah,
I
he gotta be sick.
swear. Oh my god! I'm done.
I swear, I didn't think this one was going. We're gonna go now. Consider this other one might be just as bad though. Consider it. I'm not gonna lie to you. I swear I didn't mean for it to go this way, but it makes perfect sense to what we're talking about. Like, I didn't even watch that, you know.
Yes, I'm loving it.
23-year-old young black man by the name of Jaden McNeil. They say he's a good young man. He's heavy into his religion. He likes to read the Bible.
I remember that. Oh my god!
He's not a street thuggy.
He went to pray.
He has plans, goals, and aspirations in life. Clean criminal record, okay? Again, he's very into his religion and praying and reading the Bible. Well, about a month ago, he decided that he was going to go across the street and invite his 72-year-old white neighbor.
It's not
William
even
Griffin,
funny. It's
to
sad.
pray.
We laughing to keep from crying. Y'all.
I'm sorry.
So Jaden McNeil and his white 72-year-old neighbor, William Griffin, they've been neighbors for about 8 years.
8 years. Remember that. 8 years.
Across the street from Jaden.
8.
This day, Jaden decides to go over there to pray with William Griffin or invite him to prayer. You know, give him a spiritual blessing.
Why?
So he goes over there and Jaden knocks on the door. When he knocks on the door, William Griffin shoots through the door 7 times.
Ooh.
7 times. He hit Jaden with 5 of those rounds. 5 of those shots hit Jaden. Now, after he did this, after he shot Jaden 5 times for knocking on his door to pray, I don't know if Jaden was laying on the ground or still standing up, but the Richmond County Sheriff's Office showed up and also other first responders. When the first responders came, they're checking Jaden out, you know, rendering aid to his wounds, okay? But when they did this, the neighbor, William, he's standing there the whole time with his gun in his hand like it's just a cell phone or whatever or anything. Never did the Richmond County Sheriff's Office draw down on him when they seen a man hurt or a man down and another man with the gun. They didn't do that. They pulled up and it was like another day. He had the gun in his hand. They didn't fire no shots at him. They didn't pull out, yell, put it down. None of that. None of that. And the Richmond County Sheriff's Office is saying that William Griffin was afraid that Jaden was attempting to break in, and that's why he fired those shots. That's their story, and that's what they're backing.
All right, so you heard that.
You know they lying. You know they lying. They just didn't want to take that man to jail. His ass should have went to jail. Pray in jail.
Yeah.
That you can get out of jail. They lying. They lying. They lying. I'm sorry, they lying. That don't even make no sense. You 8 years. Now remember that they said 8 years, right? So you mean to tell me what is the man going through Alzheimer's or dementia? That's what I'm saying. So now this man been coming to your house for 8 years. 8. Okay, 8. So he comes over this night out the blue, or maybe he probably called or didn't. But you know this man come over your house all the time. So now all of a sudden, you thinking he breaking in? You got to be starting with dementia or something. Or that's what the police officer's saying. I'm thinking that's what the police officer's saying. They lying. They just didn't want to arrest that dude, plain and simple. Because remember that woman that shot that other lady through the door and she got arrested? She's still in jail. She was found guilty. So my thing is, stop lying. Take his behind the jail. He needs to go to jail and die the rest of his days in jail, behind the bars, something.
Yeah, and
too much of this crazy stuff going on without anything, no results. No, it's time for us to do what we need to do. We have every God-given right to protect and defend ourselves. But if you don't do anything, you don't say anything, you keep allowing it to happen. This is why we're seeing more and more of this, because they're getting so used to just, well, you know, them black folk ain't gonna do nothing. Go ahead, do whatever you want to them, and that's what it's looking like to me. They'll either forgive you or dismiss it. Little boy got hung 21 in his in his truck, by his truck, and nothing. Nobody got up, nobody rose up, nobody said anything. Are we serious? Is this what we're doing now? We are so, what do you call it? We've gotten so used to it, or numb to it, that we don't even think nothing about it now. We just say, oh, okay, that's just them crackers acting a fool, and we're just gonna go on about our business. No, we're gonna have to start stomping their behinds. Now to go on white boy on his chest and see what happened. I bet you going to jail. But he put N-word on yours and no jail time? No, we're not doing that.
Yeah.
This is crazy. It's enough is enough.
Yeah. Shouts out to my brother Anthony. He said he in the hospital, so definitely hope you get better, my brother, for sure.
Wow.
I was like wondering where you've been at, Definitely hope you get
Goodness,
better.
feel better, man.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And
You say COVID again? What you mean? How many times you had it?
Right.
Jesus. Wow.
Yeah, definitely get better, my brother, for sure.
Yes. Oh my goodness. Hate to hear it.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, so this was the updates. Of course they didn't.
Knocked on the door, hoping to spread the word of God, and he was met with a barrage of bullets. The accused shooter is his neighbor, and tonight he's not charged. Channel 9's Jonathan Lowe was in Rockingham today as police paint a very different picture of what they believe happened.
And this was North Carolina.
Late today,
what they believe happened, not what actually happened.
In the Richmond County Sheriff's Office with this investigation, and that the preliminary findings have already been turned over to the local district attorney for a determination on charges.
Tonight, 23-year-old Jaden McNeil of Rockingham continues to fight for his life after a bizarre shooting back on August 22nd.
He was shot at 7 times, but he was only hit 5.
Only. He only shot him 5 times. He shot himself 7, but only 5.
Oh my God.
What the
what in the hell?
We sick as hell because
we are just out of we're done.
I'm sorry. That just made me mad for a minute.
This is the guy across the street.
Jaden's father says the gunman is their neighbor living directly across the street. That morning, he believes his son was going across the street to pray with his neighbor who's 72.
Now, Cassidra, between the two of them, which one of them you think would have amnesia? Is it the black dude going across the street to knock on the old white dude door, not knowing the last 700 or 2,000 or however long they've been on the planet? Or the white dude who's just doing what
devils do?
Like, come on.
Why is that a shock?
What? Right.
Why is that a shock? They always come out the bag on you. They always act like they nice, and then one of these days, them demons come up and they act like whose father they are. They act like the devil. That's their dad. That's their father. We know that. So why are we shocked for real? Why are you shocked? I'm surprised this hadn't happened before. Right. He shot the boy 7 times. So why'd you have to shoot 7 times?
He said. They said the only real prayer is one of gratitude. Be like, yo, thank goodness that old white dude had a heart attack across the street. Now I ain't got to worry about getting shot. That's the only real prayer that should be given. But all right, let me finish.
Years old.
He is a resilient young man. It was on his mind to, try to spread the good news.
But at some point,
is that good news
neighbor
or
fired
no?
Shots through their front door. This is the video of that door. Jaden was struck in the chest.
But look at the doorbell ringer. Hold on. Go back. Is that a doorbell ringer? So he knew who the hell was at that door. So what the hell are you talking about? You thought he was a burglar. Ain't that a doorbell ringer right there?
Oh, no, maybe it looked like it.
That's what it looked like to me.
Yeah, it looked like one.
Y'all, is that a doorbell ringer? That's what it looked like to me. So you mean to tell me you didn't know who that was? Your doorbell ringer wasn't working? Because that comes right on your phone or on your TV, right? So how you didn't know who it was? Oh, okay. I'm done. They lying. They're lying and nobody's picking this up. Because the police is telling you what they think happened. But they don't know it's the doorbell right there. Okay, go ahead. I'm done.
Arm in hand.
My son was still standing whenever I got across the street to him, with his hands up to the sky.
The sheriff is contradicting the family's version of events, posting on Facebook that the homeowner believed Jaden, who has no criminal history, was trying to break in even after the first few shots.
According to the family, there was no kicking or trying to break down the door.
That neighbor has not been arrested or charged. Living across Riley's for 8 years, Charles is sure the neighbor knew his son.
He would often read his Bible in here in the driveway.
We met outside the sheriff's office. Is
know next
familiar
time.
with Jaden's devotion to his faith. She recently lost her own son.
Jaden was even witnessing to some of the young people in the yard.
Now she's doing the
I
same.
don't know. It don't sound like no good news to me that he was. You can't give nobody else no damn good news
They don't
anyway.
tell me there was no doorbell, and they know damn well what happened. They lying. The sheriff gonna tell you what he think happened. How you gonna tell us what happened? You wasn't even there. So that means you taking the white man's side of it, right? Or you put that in his head. Well, we just gonna say that he was trying to break in because black folk rob and steal and kill all the time. But who do the most murdering in this country and get away with it? Okay. Who's shooting up schools and getting away with it? Who get a slap on the hand when they do anything? It ain't black folk. Okay. And this is why this country is going through what it's going through right now. Because this country is done. They never hold themselves accountable. So because they don't hold themselves accountable, the land has to hold them accountable. Or the universe has to hold them accountable. Or whoever you call them. Because they're going to get held accountable one way or another. And because this country don't hold itself accountable, that's what's going on in this country right now. Watch the weather. Anytime you see what's going on, this is judgment. People don't understand that. This don't happen all the time like this.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, you can hold them accountable because they better not come around here. You know what I'm saying? Like on some real stuff, like because I don't see how people could like their loved ones and they just be like, oh,
They
it's
don't say
whatever.
nothing.
You know what I'm saying?
I know. They just be like, okay, well, he just got hair. He shot him 7 times, and he shot at him 7, but he shot him 5 for like that's not a big deal. Man, that's crazy.
Yeah, because that's the thing, because I'm like, ain't no just like, oh yeah, only 5 times and you on the news talking about it. Like, nah, like by that time, I know he old anyway. So like, I don't know. I guess I gotta like torture him. Like if he got children or something that's like my son age, then they gotta go there. But anyway, speaking of this, Cassidra, I'm not even gonna play a lot of that.
I think it's
but this goes to what we're gonna talk about overall, right? So she said African Americans are in an abusive relationship with America. All right, now
We are.
yeah, and I know you can go in more than she does, like no disrespect to her, but
Oh boy.
what do you think about the African Americans? Because we are African. Well, they are African American. Because Africans who have been Americanized is what an African American is.
That's right. One that act the way that little boy did, who put an N-word on his chest.
That's African American.
That's an African American one that allowed his friends to throw him in the water and forgave the girl. He almost died. Remember?
That's African American for sure.
The one that went to the neighbor house and prayed. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes we have to pull away, but we are so brainwashed right now. It's pathetic. We don't fight back. We don't hit back. We do nothing. We walk away. We just, it's okay. I'm gonna pray. Well, no, sometimes it's time to get a beat down. Seriously, it's time to get a beat down sometimes. You don't even have to report some stuff. Some stuff you just take care of yourself because you already know their justice system is not our justice system. Their justice system is here to put us in jail, not them. And it's doing a very good job. Millions, how many, 2 million black folk in jail now in the prison system? Millions, okay? That shows you how unfair this country is. That shows you how they don't hold themselves accountable. You just murdered a man who didn't even do the crime. This America, this is America. And some people say, well, how did it get like this? It never changed. It's always been like this. It never changed. They just calmed down a little bit, but toward the end, you're going to see more. You're going to see more dysfunction. But my thing is, Black folk is excusing it. We're not holding them accountable. Their courts won't hold them accountable, nor is Black folk holding them accountable. You say, well, Cassie, what you supposed to be doing? You're supposed to be handling your business. Just remember the little black boy that got shot by the Mexican neighbor? He was what, 2 or 3, 4, 6, maybe 6. Remember? This was maybe in the summertime. He went on the neighbor's grass with his bike, and neighbor came out and shot. Remember? And then you had the 11-year-old whose puppy went on their grass, and the 2 grown immigrants, Mexican women, beat her down. She's 11. You got big grown women. You mean you ain't have nobody? You ain't have no sisters? You ain't have no cousins, no aunts? I would have reported that. You think I'd have reported that? I'm calling the police. We don't have our business. The police wouldn't know nothing about it. Chinese folk do you ever see any Chinese folk getting arrested? They handle their business. You do something, they coming. You don't never see no Chinese on TV, do you? You mean they not doing no crimes? How they handling this? You don't never see no Jews on TV being arrested, do you? How they handling this? Only people you see on TV is Black folk, because we call them police for everything. The very ones that murder you, you calling them. The very one that's stealing your children, you calling them. Tell me, if you see my child, call the police, call 911. The very people that's stealing your child. Because you're not going to tell me that little boy that got hung by his truck, the police didn't stop him. They was talking about, they was doing an update of that story. They said the police stopped that boy. The police stopped him. And they took his phone. He said, I want to call my mom. They took his phone. He was 21. But the police been doing that since forever. Remember the 3 boys that got out of jail? That night the police stopped them, then the KKK took them. How else is they going to give them to stop? You understand what I'm saying? But this is America. So yes, this is some mental illness stuff. Stockholm Syndrome. Willie Lynch. What you want to call it? We're not holding nobody accountable. They come slap you, you turn the other cheek for real. The worst thing we could have did was got into church, got into Christianity, that religion. That was the worst thing for Black people. They knew what they was doing. You think they didn't study Black folk? I'm gonna rest my mic for now.
Yeah, and continue to study,
every day,
and influence you to create your own hell. And
it's affecting us in 2021. That is a fact. It's a fact. Are being circulated among the.
All right. So anyway, we understand this, and this is a broader topic that we can also touch on too at another time. Just the abusive relationship as a whole. That us as I'm sorry to say it, but right now as a collective, we are kind of Negroes right now. You know what I'm saying? We acting real Negro-ish as a collective. But also looking at it on a personal level as well. You know what I'm saying? So just looking at it in your own life, because a lot of those symptoms come out in your own life. This is why you have such dysfunctional homes and communities, because all of that toxic behavior is not only a collective thing, it is an individual thing, and it poisons our, and it's not our fault, because they have think tanks for hundreds of years putting this stuff into it,
right?
And then also epigenetics, where they literally try to beat this stuff into you. So it's not your fault, but it is your responsibility to become who you're supposed to be. You know what I'm saying? And their job is to keep you who you are. They have to make you kill yourself, because if you ever decide to stop killing yourself, you would kill them. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because they are a plague, you feel me? So they have to make you sick and have this self-hatred, and this is why we are drawn to the toxic people who are scammers and all of that stuff, but we pay it so much attention as opposed to focusing on the things that we're supposed to do. You know what I'm saying? So then you got to take it back to a basic level or whatever, So anyway, I'm going to play some of this, Cassidra, and then I'm going to let you go on what you
Traumatic
think.
bonding is basically this. It is an emotional and psychological bond that has been created as a result of a pre-existing relationship, like a caregiver, a parent, a marriage. The individual who is the abuser alternates between periods of negative and abusive and traumatic behavior to positive, charming, and emotionally capturing behaviors, right? Loving, sweet, considerate, compassionate, charming, all of that, right? So you have the positive sides of that individual that's alternating with the negative sides of the individual. And what happens is what is known as cognitive dissonance. Cognitive dissonance.
Except I've never seen a good Neanderthal. Some of you say that, but I've never seen one.
Exactly. I don't know when they say that. I don't. Show me one. Show me one. Show me one. I've not, just like they say, "Ooh, good cops, good witches." I've never seen a good witch, and I've never seen a good cop.
Yeah.
But go ahead.
Is basically a term that refers to two alternating opinions or beliefs or conclusions. And because it's very difficult to hold those two conclusions at the same time, you end up abandoning one in favor of the other. And so let me.
So pretty much like an example is you'll let some white dudes on the swim team carve nigga in your chest and be proud of it.
Exactly.
That's cognitive dissonance, right? Because they beat you down so bad that you have to release your self-pride in order to not I guess explode or something, like spontaneous combustion or something, But
Let me give you an example of that. So let's say that your father has physically, emotionally, and sexually abused you. Because you cannot figure out how to marry those characteristics of your father with the loving, wonderful, supportive, financially supportive father that he is, you end up abandoning the fact that he's abusive to you, and you hold on to the perception that he is just a good person, right? Making mistakes or doing the wrong thing. I think we also experience cognitive dissonance when we're looking at the news, right? When we see somebody that we trusted, like a pastor, a therapist,
any
a
person with
medical
white
doctor,
skin.
a surgeon, a music artist, right? Those kind of things, those kind of people and professions, we end up experiencing cognitive dissonance, right? We have a hard time seeing somebody who's a doctor, a therapist, a lawyer, a surgeon, a music artist who comes across one way.
All right, play one
We
more
have a hard,
part.
are nine signs, guys, that
That's
I
too
have
many, but I will
identified,
just
and a
play a
lot of
few.
people have identified as proof that you have become traumatically bonded to your abuser. All right. So the first sign is over identification with the abuser, right? You overly identify with the abuser.
You call yourself
You believe
African American and
that
stuff.
if you just try to understand them, because I'm the only one who can understand them.
Go
I'm
pray
the
or
only
something.
one who he trusts. I'm the only one that's in her life to help her, right? When you have those kind of thoughts, you're over identifying with the abuser, and it really is cognitive dissonance. All right. The next one is feeling indebted to the abuser. You're the one being abused and misused, and yet you feel indebted. You feel like you need
You gotta pay tribute.
to be a part of that individual. You don't need to be a part of that abuser, right? But you feel indebted to them because
So I'm gonna stop right there, Cassidra. And you
I
want to say
mean,
something?
some people, yeah, I think we need to hear that because some people need to understand what it means and what's really going on in America with us. Really, seriously. Go ahead.
Okay.
Again, there's an alternating positive and negative perception of you of that individual. So you feel indebted to the positive person that's there, and you totally abandon the fact that they are negative. All right. So that's the other one. The third one is feeling that he or she needs me, right? I'm going to be with this abuser because they need me right now. I'm going to be with this abuser because I'm the only one who can understand them. All right. That's another sign.
Because even with that, that's what's going on with the Democratic Party and black folks.
Oh, I was about to say, oh my God,
Hey,
Project
listen.
2025. You know you got to save
swear.
democracy.
I swear that's going on. That's what's going on now.
You know we got to save democracy now.
Democracy? How many times we gonna say democracy and not get nothing?
Oh, you know we
What
can't
is
have
what's going
democracy.
on right
though.
now?
Yeah, well, you know, it was a white dude one time named John Brown who supposed to had. So there is. No, I don't know. I can't tell you why.
Traumatically bonded to your abuser. The fourth one is beginning to minimize, deny, and explain things away. Well, he sexually abused me because he wasn't getting sexual stimulation from my mother. I've heard.
Kamala Harris brought that up. I ain't gonna take it that way. All right, but they didn't lynch me because they hate me. They didn't. Okay, I got you. They didn't push me into the water. They was just horse playing. You know what I'm saying? That's a sign of traumatic.
Exactly.
That's what they're saying.
Exactly.
You know, you just explain
So,
away the
so
stuff.
of course you go back out there again, and of course this time they drown you.
Yeah.
And they didn't mean to drown him, you know, just like the dude, you know, just like this is white folk stuff. Just like the police officer said, he didn't mean to shoot him. He thought he was breaking in. But I visit you every day. I've been living across the street from you 8 years. I have a doorbell ringer. So what the hell? What are you talking about? And then let's see when the guy come conscious, what he gonna say? Is he gonna agree? Because they say he's still in critical condition. I don't know if he gonna make it. He got shot 5 times by his neighbor.
I ain't gonna say nothing messed up.
Before he went over there.
Yeah, I was about to say I ain't gonna say nothing messed up.
I'm sorry, that's crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy. And until we understand who these devils are, stuff like this gonna continue happening. Seriously. Stuff like this is going to continue to happen because we're not understanding who these people are. We forget who our enemies are. Just because they laugh and grin and show you all of their teeth with the knife behind their backs, with the gun behind their backs. And you can see the tip of it and say, oh, they're not going to shoot me. They don't have that gun for me. But you're looking right at the gun. That's mental illness, period. That's mental illness. We keep telling you, leave these white folk alone. Stop dating their children. Stop hanging out with them, being the only black in the neighborhood, only black at the birthday party. We keep telling you, stop doing that. And you keep doing that and over and over and over and getting the same result, and you still don't get it. I don't know what's it going to take. I don't know what's it going to take.
Probably no, I'm not gonna say nothing. I don't know what it's gonna say. I'm gonna just say I don't know. Yo, shouts out to my brother Koku in the building, Bitter Medicine Podcast. Make sure y'all subscribe. I just been checking, listening in the backgrounds, but y'all definitely subscribe to that brother. Shouts out to Kofi in the building. Appreciate y'all for coming through. I guess I'll play this.
I've had trauma clients come in and say that very thing to me.
But okay, you can look at it on a personal level though.
Another idea would be, well, you know, I know that, you know, he robbed a bank. I know that he raped an elderly woman and took her wallet and spent all her credit
destroyed
cards.
my language.
I know that he hit my daughter really hard and my daughter
destroyed my lineage.
Concussion,
I don't know where I come from.
But he really is a broken man on the inside. He really is hurt. He really
But
needs
all
help,
we got to do is love him.
Explaining things away and minimizing things and straight up
keep voting.
All right.
Because you know they're going to give us something eventually. Yeah.
Next time though.
Yeah, next time.
Next time.
Yeah, we're gonna we getting closer. We getting closer.
Maybe next time.
In the unemployment line, outside, living outside, but we getting closer. Yeah, okay. Go ahead. We getting closer though. Next time we may get it. Next, we may get it. Let's put it in again.
I don't know if my brother.
The damn border open, wide open. She's trying to legalize 20 million illegals. What's that going to do for black people? 20 million. She won't need your vote next year. She won't care. She don't even mention you now, black folk. She's already told them I'm not doing nothing for them niggas. I'm going to say it. Yes. And we still go out and vote for it. We still set up there and gave her 500. How much was 500 million? I'm just saying.
Man, and all right, so we, and we ain't gonna make it about that. We're gonna keep it on, because we are sick all the way around the board, for real. Even with your white friends, your churches, your schools, your friends. I don't know. You all got all of these signs in every aspect of it. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know what to tell you. I'm gonna leave this because we sick, If I don't know if my brother MD2 listening, but black people would be like, yes, sir. We sick, boss. It's basically.
Yes. Ooh, we sick, boss.
All right, so I don't know this brother. I just picked a random brother. He only got 3 subscribers.
Women, but
I don't even think he make videos, but
men
y'all
can
can
be
subscribe to
domestically
him.
abused as well. It's a rarity, but it does happen.
Shit, black. I ain't gonna say. I'm gonna be
This
quiet.
video is primarily directed towards women, and not just women, but women who are not yet married. What I'd like you to do is be able to recognize an abuser and an abusive situation so that you can separate yourself from that person and that situation before you make the foolish mistake of marrying that person, and that would be just terrible. So I'm going to read to you what I have written. I know it's a little bit boring listening to someone read something, but I don't want to leave out anything.
I must skip a little bit.
Just a dad who's giving his thoughts on a few issues. I don't have any statistics on domestic violence, but I know that it happens to plenty of women every year. I think I heard one statistic that said something like 1 out of every 4 women will be the victim of domestic violence during their lifetime. That seems a little high to me, and I hope it is a little high. I hope it's not that much. Whatever the statistics are, even if it's 1 out of every 4,000 women, it doesn't matter. Men beating up on women is just wrong. Let me tell you something, lady. If any man ever hits you, you should be done with him forever. All right? People shouldn't get a second chance to hit you. He should not get a second chance to hurt you or hospitalize you or even kill you. You may love him. He may be the father of your children. All of that stuff may be true, but none of it matters. Domestic violence should never be tolerated. It's important that you know how to recognize an abusive person. Abusive people abuse in many different ways. They may abuse mentally, emotionally, verbally, and or physically. The key thing to understand is that all abuse is harmful, and you shouldn't put up with any of it. Most abusers start with the verbal assault. They yell at you or speak to you in disrespectful ways. They're just testing you to see if you'll tolerate a little abuse. If you allow
They're
this
gonna
verbal
call you
abuse
N-word,
to
see if you smack
continue,
their
the
ass.
abuser will move on to step 2, and these are in order. Emotional abuse. They'll try to embarrass you and shame you or humiliate you in public. They'll laugh at you and try to get others to do the same. Again, they're just trying to see what they can get away with. The fact that you have tolerated their verbal abuse has caused them to lose respect for you. Now they're hoping to have a little fun at your expense. If you don't stand up for yourself, this person will get worse. They will become mentally, that's the third step, mentally abusive. He will become very demanding and difficult to please. You will give and give, but he will never be satisfied.
Never be
He will
satisfied.
never show appreciation or gratitude, only disappointment and anger. Now, of course, this could be a woman abusing a man too, but generally this is a man being abusive to a woman.
Well, a whole group of people getting
This person will
abused
be
as
happy,
well.
hard to satisfy. You'll only get disappointment and anger out of them. I'll continue. He will try to separate you from your friends and relatives. He knows that they can see right through him, and he doesn't want them to tell you what they see. Because you're
Oh yeah,
looking at
divide and
him
conquer.
through
Y'all
love.
know about that, right?
You don't see how wicked he is and what the deal is with him. But your sister, brother, best friend, uncle, auntie, niece, nephew, they can see him for who he is.
The problem is though with us, Negroes across the world can't seem to understand, like for some reason. So
Across
your
the board.
cousins and don't
Across
understand.
the board.
Mm-mm-mm.
And if you listen to them, you can get out of this relationship. So he's going to try to separate
Probably
you
don't
from
listen
them
to
so
them.
you won't listen to them. He'll either try to separate you physically so you're never around them, or he'll separate you mentally from them so you don't like them anymore because you talked about your man, right? Okay, so he will get angry every time you want to be with the people who care about you. Once he has you isolated, he can begin the physical abuse. Okay, so we've gone through verbal, emotional, then we went to mental abuse. Now we're going to physical abuse, last stage. Since you don't spend time with other people, no one will notice that you're all bruised up. Women die like this every day, unfortunately. Verbal, emotional, mental, and physical abuse are far too common, even in teenage relationships. The types of abuse don't always occur in the same order, but they usually do. But you should watch out for all of them. All right. So it's better to be alone. Let me set my computer down. It's better to be alone than with somebody who's going to treat you like garbage. Wouldn't you agree?
All right. So would you agree with that?
I totally agree. Totally.
Yeah. You want to say something?
I mean, I think he said it all.
Yeah.
He explained it well. I mean, so we need to look at that as far as our relationship with America. I'm gonna always bring it back to that because we're in that relationship right now. How do we get out of it? What do we do about it? And we have to look at some parents. What do we do to help save our children, the next generation? Black folk, older Black folk. We got to do something. Because right now, our children are suffering because of our decisions we've made. Decisions of putting them in their schools. And we're not even trying to reverse that. We're not even trying, to correct that. Because some things you can correct and grow from there and build on that. We're not even trying to correct an issue. We see stuff in our community, but we just leave it broken. Wait for everybody else to do. Well, why not we do our part? Everybody have a part. And we do our part so that we can do what needs to be done by our children, for our children, by them, for them. Because right now, it's not looking good for our babies. Anytime you sit up there and let a white boy put nigga on your shirt, on your chest, that's crazy. Anytime you let somebody push you in the water, you're okay with it. Yeah. We need some therapy bad. There should be mandatory class on our jobs every Friday, in our schools, from the elementary on up.
Yeah,
all right.
Yeah. No, yeah, I agree. And that's and he talking about warning signs, but that's way past warning signs. We're already done at that point.
Yeah. Yeah, that's way past warning.
Mm-hmm.
These videos will be beneficial to us as we seek to have strong, long-lasting relationships and improve the status of the Black family in the United States. So, I'm going to give you another topic
It's all
today,
African Americans.
This will be a blessing to you. I want to talk to you today about signs. Let me just start as an introduction by talking about the signs on the roadway. Let's say you're driving a car, right? There are a couple of different signs that you're going to see. You're going to see signs that direct you to where to go, right? Take this exit or take that exit or turn right or turn left. If you heed those signs, you will end
All right,
up
I get the point. What he's trying to say right there.
in our relationships. And this video, I'm really thinking about people who are not married yet. I've been married for 25 years. I'll probably say that on every video because I'm trying to get you to see that long-term, lasting, strong relationships are possible.
Yeah.
So I'll probably reiterate that. But this video is not for people who are married like myself. This video really is for people who are thinking about getting married or thinking about being with a person for a long time. You need to heed the signs. There are going to be signs in your relationship. Some of those signs will tell you what things you ought to take, what paths you ought to take, what things you ought to do concerning their relationship. Some of those signs that you'll see in their relationship will be warning signs. And if these signs are heeded, you will save yourself a world of trouble. If you don't learn to recognize and heed the signs, you will end up regretting your decision to stay with this person. And so let's talk about some of these signs in a relationship. Let's say you notice that the person you are with is not really a neat person. You notice that their bathroom's dirty, often their apartment's dirty, their car's dirty. They don't pick up behind themselves very well. There's always unwashed dishes in their sink. They don't like to clean up. That's a sign, okay? You have to ask yourself, do I want to put up with this for the next however 20, 30, till death do us part? Is that something I can deal with? If I'm a neat person, is that I'm going to end up cleaning up behind this person every day? Can I handle that? That needs to be addressed. What about a person who doesn't get along well with kids and you know you like kids? You need to, don't ignore the sign, heed the sign. Talk to the person about the sign. Kids get on your nerves, don't they? I noticed that. And then you guys can talk about that. Do you want kids? Because I see you don't really like kids that much, right? So you can talk about that. Maybe you see a violent nature or someone who gets really angry really quickly, right? They have a volatile temper. That needs to be addressed. Talk about that. That's a sign. Don't ignore these signs, right? Maybe this person is just a spendthrift and they just are constantly spending money, right? And they're behind on their bills a lot. Well, do you really want to hook your train to that wagon? You need to address that sign and say, wow, your spending habits are really interesting. Let's talk about that, right? Maybe you could bring it up in conversation in a joking way. I don't know. But when you see signs, you need to address those signs and not ignore those signs. Because if you ignore the signs, you could end up hooking yourself up to someone and regretting it for the next 20, 30, the next 20, 30 years or the next 5 years until you get married and end up not being able to handle it. And then you end up getting divorced, 3 years later, 5 years later, right? So address the signs now.
All right. So yeah, what you think about that, Cassidra?
I totally agree. This is why you get to know people instead of, jumping into bed with them. This is how you get to know them. You get to see the signs. You get to see what bothers you. You get to see how they act and how they treat their kids or treat their mom or treat their, whoever, even their ex. Sometimes their ex comes by or they may see their ex or, the ex baby mama, whatever. And the way he treats her is pretty much how he's going to treat you later, so you have to look at all of that. So yeah, we have to get to know people, and he's totally right. Totally.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and y'all. Well, he don't make videos no more, but y'all can still support him, I guess.
Well,
But
I hope he okay.
yeah,
Videos up there.
yeah, it was
They
like
all tell me the same thing.
all about like black relationships and getting along and respecting each
Wow.
other.
Okay.
So, but yeah, shouts out to that brother. And yeah, and ultimately it goes back to like you're not gonna change everybody's mind or nothing like that, but like you're gonna have to start from the basics. You know what I'm saying? Like where you have healthy relationships as a couple, so then you can then go have healthy children where you raising them properly and giving them the male at the masculine and the feminine. You know what I'm saying? Like there's a reason why it takes a man and a woman to have a kid, or a child, and it starts with the basics, you know what I'm saying? And then once you do that, like you start being able to put the ideas in your children's mind that you want in there, meaning that they can control their own destiny. You know what I'm saying? There's nobody more powerful than them. Nobody can stop them. Just know that they have the power with already. All right. Consider we're gonna go to the other part, right? Because a lot of times when people get with the wrong person too, when it comes to regular relationships, then you have a lot of stuff with missing children and stuff like that. So I'm gonna just play this one just so we can be. I hope this works.
I'm your host. Cases represents a loved one who's disappeared and their families are desperately seeking answers. In 2024, out of approximately 600,000 people who go missing annually in the US, a significant proportion, nearly 40%, are people of color. This statistic highlights the disproportionate impact on communities of color, particularly teens. Black children and teens, in particular, make up a considerable percentage of these cases, with Black girls facing especially high rates of disappearance. However, despite this, they receive far less media attention than their white counterparts. U.S. With up to 100,000 active cases at any given time, this staggering number highlights how frequently individuals disappear, especially among vulnerable groups like teens of color, who often don't receive the same urgency or
Oh,
media
it's showing
attention.
two Mexican
These
girls.
statistics reveal a critical gap in how resources are allocated, making it essential to raise awareness and demand more equitable treatment for all missing persons. I'd like to apologize in advance for any mispronunciation or the community they come from. Today, we're focusing on a missing teen from Illinois whose story I feel has been overshadowed by a grossly false narrative. Carson McCarty is 17 years old. She was last seen on January 15th, 2024, in her hometown of Joliet, Illinois. Carson, like many teens, faced challenges. She was diagnosed with bipolar disorder and depression, and at times she struggled. But she also had dreams, family, and a community who loves her. Today, that community is living in fear because for over 8 months, Carson has been missing. Despite her family's fears that she has been a victim of trafficking, law enforcement has labeled her as a chronic runaway. This label may
You hear
seem
that?
small, but it
Law
holds
enforcement.
tremendous weight.
There they go again.
When a teenager is labeled as a runaway, their case doesn't receive the same urgency as those classified as missing persons or
They got something to do with it. That's why they all in on it.
And think about it though, like ask yourself, would you depend on
Exactly.
if I was a sheep, would I depend on a lion to help me find my baby? You know what I'm saying? Like
Especially if the lion then ate your last baby up. You gonna depend on the same lion that you know the lion has a history of eating babies, eating children. I'm just saying.
And I don't want to call us I don't want to call us sheep or nothing, but like we are getting N-word carved in our chest at this point.
Hey,
Like
I'm just
that's
saying.
crazy. But and like I'm gonna let him finish with
they've
that
left
runaway.
voluntarily, and too often the search becomes less of a priority.
That's why they
For
did it.
teens
They
like
don't
Carson,
look for no way.
especially teens of color, this label can be a death sentence. In the US, teenagers of color go missing at alarmingly high rates, yet their cases receive far less attention from law enforcement and the media.
Really?
The
That's
term
shocking.
chronic runaway
Right.
can be used as a blanket label to dismiss their disappearances, even in cases where they might be in danger, or worse, trafficked. The family has gotten tips that she might be in Joliet, maybe in Indiana, but they need our help. She's out there and they just need someone to care as much as they do.
So
Carson.
why don't you go look for her? Why don't we have our own? We have our own investigating team. We don't need to rely on them. They don't even like you. They kill you every chance they get. Why do you think they're gonna look for you or look for your baby? That's crazy. So you know you think she's blah blah blah, but you're gonna call the police instead of going to look yourself or get your own search team together? Come on, you guys. We're doing this backwards. This is badass backwards. It makes no sense. What's wrong with us? What are we doing? You going to them, help me, please. I'm drowning. Can you throw me a? And they look at you like, I'll get it in a minute. Or don't even say that. Just look, act like they don't hear you and turn your head. And you still begging them to save you. Come on, you guys. Come on. What's wrong with this picture? These people are in on it. They got something to do with it. Social services has something to do with this. All of these facilities that you trust. A lot of our black babies, they come and get them out these homes, and then they come up missing or dead. But we still gonna look to them to help us save our babies. Come on, we're just not making no sense. Go ahead.
And it's I don't know what to say. Is because it's like it's the mental. It's like so off with us as a whole. It just doesn't make any sense whatsoever. like how we accept so many things, like just the little things that people should be pissed off about. Like, yo, we should be having a revolution that they're taking tax money from us. That's paying, we paying tribute to this day. You know how in the Asian you watch an old movie or some like back in the one of them, by the way, you like all them Greek pedophile stuff that be going on, like, but they be paying tribute. They go to like certain countries and try to take them. We paying tribute to this day. And we ain't mad about that. We don't even look at it that way. Well, pay taxes and die. That's one thing. Yeah, I'm gonna be black and pay taxes. Like, two things for certain.
Okay.
Like, America is like only like 200 some years old. Like, you know what I'm saying? Their taxes only a couple some years old. And you go way beyond that with your DNA, your lineage, you know what I'm saying, who you are, And we're not mad about the fact that our whole way of life is disrupted as we speak. I want to know where exactly I was at, what language I was speaking, the name of the person right before we got disrupted. You know what I'm saying? I want to know exactly who that person was, but we can't. Well, we can. I don't know if we can or not, but anyway, I ain't gonna go. Now I don't know if you heard about when they had the ebony alert, decision.
Go ahead.
So she said, "Is this working for Black youth?"
Why would you even put a late? Why they already weren't looking for you before you put an ebony on it? Anything. So why would you think they gonna start looking for you now that you put ebony alert on there? Come on, here we go again, acting like we brain dead. Ebony alert, have your own team, search team. Period. If we have some of these black mayors in some of these cities, they can do an ebony alert, or they can get form a team, have some money set aside locally for these teams to go out and search for black girls. Obviously, we can't rely on law enforcement, thugs in blue, to do it. So let's do it ourselves. Why are you relying on people to do for you what you can do for you? Stop doing that. Do for self. Get mad enough to want to do for self and form something. Do something. We know what's needed in our community. Why aren't we doing it? Why aren't we forming these different individuals or different entities that we need for our babies? Black women coming up missing too. We still riding Uber. Why? I wouldn't dare get in the Uber. The hell? You coming up missing. You got to jump out the car. The black girl had to jump out the car. Mexican woman was driving. Was supposed to go to the mall. Passed the mall and didn't even, did she drop? She had to jump out the car. Then you got a white guy come and pick up a young woman. He sprayed something or some smoke or something in her face to make her dizzy. What are we doing? Then you have another black girl. She goes into a bar by herself and she gets drugged by the bartender. What are we doing? What are we doing? Are we concerned here? Do we really care? Are we just going to hold on for dear life for white folk? We're going to hold on for dear life to them.
Well, I just thought of something, Cassidra. Maybe if we love them just enough and maybe pray a little bit. Man, I ain't gonna knock on nobody's door. I learned my lesson about knocking on somebody's door.
Don't knock on your neighbor's door.
Yeah, I'm sorry to make light of it, but I'm laughing to keep from crying because y'all killing me.
It's sad. Oh my God, I'm having a fit over here. This is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. And we don't hear enough about these stories. We need to be talking about these black babies, these black women coming up missing. We need to talk. This needs to be a conversation. Everybody with a platform need to be talking about this. How often do we hear about this? We don't. Because we don't want to talk about this. We want to talk about Diddy. Mm-hmm. We want to talk about somebody that's been nasty his whole life. Hugh Hefner. Let's talk about him. How nasty he was.
Oh, no, he white. No.
Okay. Hugh Hefner did the same thing. What are you talking about? And nobody, he probably didn't he get a key to the city? Something. Nobody said nothing. But then I'm not condoning nothing. I'm just saying. We have to put our attention back on what's important.
Yeah, and the fact that you guys...
Go ahead.
No, I'm about to say the fact that you even had to say, because it's going to be something like, what he did was wrong. And yeah, nobody...
Yes, nobody's saying it wasn't.
Right. Exactly.
But what
But
we
they
doing,
have
we
an
trying to
excuse.
let's get all of them. We're not just gonna get the black one. All right, Kelly, Diddy. Okay, we got some white producers in Hollywood that's raping babies. It's called pedophilia. Remember Todd Bridges? That boy messed up today because some of them white folk was messing with him. Arnold, come on.
Now consider y'all. I was watching this thing, right, and they was talking about that movie 300 or something, and he was like, the girl said something about pedophilia, and he was like, it was weird she would say that because, like, yeah, just about all of their cultures had like systematic pedophilia inside of it. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I was like, what the? They're disgusting.
They are. They always. That's what they do. That's what they do. Period. And then we put our children. We put them with our children. We give them our children. Let's talk. When we're gonna talk about Aaliyah? When we're gonna talk about some of these parents that was giving their daughters, paying? R. Kelly was paying these parents for their kids. When we're gonna blame the parents? When we're gonna do that? Oh, we're not gonna talk about that, huh? We're gonna talk about how nasty he was. But let's talk about how he was paying the parents. He was paying the parents for those girls. They was taking money for him to sleep with their daughters. Let's talk about that. But we're not gonna talk about that though. Okay, we're gonna just blame him. We got some issues. We got some real issues going on in our community, and I hope that we get busy and talk about this stuff. This stuff needs to be talked about seriously.
Yeah, I agree. You know, all right. Let me play this one.
Banks vanished from her Los Angeles apartment in the early hours of July 6th after arguing with her mom about cleaning her room.
I felt horrible about everything. I felt no one was there. And I didn't want to like confront it. So I was like balling it up and I was like, I can't. So I just went out the door. I thought she'd been abducted. I immediately started freaking out.
And see, like, yo, I'm sorry, but like, yo, you have to even break it down, like with her, like everything going on with her is mentally like unstable because she's like, you hear the words that she's using. I'm not this, I'm not that. Like, yo, and it's not just her. It wouldn't be a thing if it's some people. It's so many of us that have this. I'm not good enough. I'm not loved. I don't have this. I cannot achieve this. I'm powerless feeling, and then we internalize all of that, and then like that feeling that you get, it don't matter who it is, that's all you can see is that energy. Like that's why it's okay to be angry, you know what I'm saying, but you use that anger to propel you to not let them do it, because they put all of this stuff, all of these thoughts that she probably was thinking existed before she was even around, and they have think tanks to find ways to put that inside of your head to make you think this way. But which it makes everything toxic with yourself, and everything in your environment is toxic, and all that. Like the brother was saying at the beginning, he was learning certain thing. He wanted to leave the environment part out. But if you let somebody else control your environment, then that's already starting off on a bad point in the first place, you know. So like her mental health and running away in the first place is the part that we got to talk about too, you know.
Absolutely, we got to talk about all of it. How our children are fine until we allow them to go to their schools. Let's talk about that. Our babies are good up until age 5. They start going to their school. What happens? Especially our boy babies. Oh, they got it out for our boys. It starts early. You got a lot of them crazy, them white women teaching kindergarten, first grade, second grade, getting them young. Because by the time they get to junior high and high school, they're done. Because they didn't had all them young years to get them. Because they didn't even know what was going on. But this is what we allow parents. We allow this because we think their education is so much better with them. That's our stuff. Where'd she get that from? Where did it start? And then even with the Black parents, we abuse our own girls. Where did that come from? We own their jobs being treated like dogs. Then we come home and we treat our kids like dogs. Because they've teaching us how to treat each other. And we're treating our babies the same way they treating us. We coming home treating our babies like that. We say we love our kids, do we?
I think it's
we get them our babies every day. We allow them to educate our babies and have our babies by themselves. You know what they do to you on these jobs, right? But then you allow them to have access to your children, babies who don't even know what they're doing. They just think it's normal. They just know they're not feeling good when they leave this person. Even Black women. I had a girl today talked about her son's 5 or 6. He's in like kindergarten, preschool, something like that. And the teacher's Black, picking on this Black baby, this Black boy. Where'd she get it from? Who trained the teacher to do what she's doing? They're using a Black face to hurt our own babies. Because nobody's gonna look at it. They're not gonna, the mom's gonna be like, well, what's wrong with my son? What's going on? She's calling, your son is this, your son is that, and then talking about medication. Oh, you want to put him on some medication. That's why you picking on him. Then the son don't want to go to her class. Why don't your child want to go to school? Why don't he like that class? But he likes everybody else's class but hers. We're not understanding that. Sometimes it's a Black face that's gonna hurt our babies. So you got to check that behavior.
Yeah, facts. And and the whole thing is too, like, even with dealing with depression, right? So you're not going to eat the right things. You're not going to be motivated to get up and exercise and be in shape. And which you should be, like, because you could at any moment be like ready on the street, but you were not in that point. But you're not going to be thinking to even be healthy enough to, like, what I'm saying, when you're in depression, what I'm saying? So like all of that stuff plays a part in what I'm saying, like everything, like when you feeling like hopeless, and it's on purpose though. What I'm saying? That's what you have to remember,
It's on purpose. Where did it start? Where did it start?
Who taught you to hate yourself, right?
Exactly. Come on, Malcolm. Woo, we need to hear that every time, every show. We need to hear that. Who taught you? Who taught you to hate yourself? Who taught you to hate your hair? Who taught you to hate them curls? Come on. That wide nose, them big lips. Stuff that they pay for. They pay for them big butts and big lips. Perms. Come on now.
I tell you what, like, tell one of them, I dare you to go to the beach on a nice day, not even a crazy hot day, just a regular nice sunny day, when don't put no kind of ointment on your skin. I dare you to do it. I can do it. So
Please. They got here fairly fast. I asked them to trace her phone. Right off the bat, he goes, unfortunately, I can't do that.
Ain't that
I'm like, well, why can't you do that? She's missing. And in that moment, they were just not listening to me. They didn't even offer an Ebony Alert. They just said, we can't do an Amber Alert.
Ebony Alert is designed for situations like this. California rolled it out statewide earlier this year. It aims to help find missing Black youth. 16% of children in the U.S. are Black, but they make up 22% of missing child cases.
Ain't that something?
While it's possible to qualify for more than one alert, Leela was not eligible for an Amber Alert because that requires confirmation that an abduction has happened.
And some white skin too.
But according to her mom, she met the criteria for an Ebony Alert as a Black 15-year-old with low blood sugar who had gone missing under unexplained circumstances.
A Black 15-year-old, you got to have low blood sugar to be found? What's going on here? But there's a problem with low blood sugar in our community too, though. That got to be addressed.
Wait for it, cats. So you gonna ask white cops who don't want to put them under an Amber Alert to come and look for an Ebony Alert? Really? That make sense. You made that Ebony Alert, but you didn't fix nothing else. What was the sense in the Ebony Alert? What's gonna be different? What's gonna happen different? What's gonna be different?
Negroes gonna shut up for like a couple months.
You didn't fix the whole problem. You just put a Band-Aid over it. You put a Band-Aid on a sinking ship. You put a Band-Aid. You put a piece of tape on a sinking ship. What sense did it make? Why didn't you repair the issue? Repair the problem. There is a problem. Repair it instead of putting a Band-Aid on it.
Yeah, and it's crazy because, okay, this one says confirmed abduction, which most of them is not confirmed. Victim is under 17. They're in imminent danger and sufficient information to disseminate to the public. This one, you got to be a Black person, 12 to 25. So if you're under 12, you're done. You got to have a disability. All right. And the person's safety may be in danger or is subject to trafficking, which they're going to ask, be like, oh, well, no, they just ran away. Missing under unexplained or suspicious circumstances, believed to be in danger, all resource. So they gotta, it's like 7 things you got to do before you can have this. All resources have to be exhausted. I don't even know what that means.
What I was going to say, what does that mean? What does that mean? That don't make, why is it they have 4 and we got 7? Who came up with this? A black man, wasn't it?
Probably.
That's the dumbest thing I ever heard. Come on. It just makes stuff stupid.
Yeah, that don't even make sense though.
Latanya reached out to the Doc Ellis Foundation, a nonprofit providing education and resources to families of missing people of color.
She had some
Black
screenshots
girls.
from law enforcement where she was begging them to ping the phone and give her an Amber Alert. And I said, stop calling them and saying Amber Alert. Call back and say Ebony. And she said, well, what is that?
Advocates say for families in these situations, an Ebony Alert can help ensure law enforcement is taking their case seriously.
Almost 30 hours without an Ebony Alert. And as soon as she got the alert, 2 hours later, they pinged the phone. And maybe about an hour later, we were able to bring her home.
According to Jasmine, the Ebony Alert is a powerful tool, but it works most effectively when organizations like hers partner with law enforcement and can advocate for more resources for families. The LAPD told NBC that initially, Leela's case did not indicate that the specific criteria for an Ebony Alert were met, and that the decision to eventually issue one was based on the evolving situation and not the involvement of the Doc Ellis Foundation. Unlike Amber Alert, Ebony Alerts don't send notifications to your phone. They're posted on the California Highway Patrol's social media pages.
Oh, wow.
What the hell? So that's
Hold
crazy.
Hold on. What did, okay, put that back because I missed something. What do you
okay,
mean? Okay.
I'll play it one more time. Let me play it one more time.
Doc
I'm
Ellis.
sorry, y'all.
Unlike Amber Alert, Ebony Alerts don't send notifications to your phone. They're posted on the California Highway Patrol's social media pages.
Here's the thing. You're given the alert.
They put it on their Facebook pages.
Why?
Like anybody goes to their Facebook pages.
Okay.
That's crazy. And then like, they be hitting
That was supposed to be better, right? It's supposed to be better.
Damn.
So they still have to do it. Nobody else can do an Ebony Alert but the police officers, right? Okay.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, that's what it's
Remember this one girl? Hold on, forecast. Remember the young lady that was she was in the hotel and she got drunk and was found in the freezer or something. Remember, her mom was trying to get the hotel to show the video, and they said they couldn't do it. Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
You remember that? But the girl was in the hotel.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, I remember that one. Yeah.
That thing was so weird, but I'm like, this is what they do to us. This is how they don't care. That mom didn't find that girl till what? The next day? Something like that. And she was downstairs in the freezer in the hotel. So they're all on code. That's what we don't understand. Just like when they find their son hanging on a tree, but hanging on a tree or tied to a tree or whatever. They go, it was suicide. Well, how did he get up there? Where's the what? We pull himself up. Well, how did he get up there? This is making no sense. We're relying on people that already don't care nothing about you. That's stealing your children in the first place. They're all on code. So what are we doing? Make it make sense.
I can make a lot of things make sense, but it just doesn't. It's hard.
No.
Seeing it on social media, different.
All right. Because let's try to go out with something positive.
Yes, please.
I hope this is the best thing I could find that was positive in the time that I had. So,
NK, I want to start with you because you are the brains behind this. I want to know, how did you come up with the idea of Found?
You remember it was back in like 2014, 2015, there were a lot of sort of viral tweets around 14 missing Black and brown girls around the DC area. And I was very surprised that I was seeing it online, sort of within my community and with sort of Black Twitter, but not on mainstream news, which I watch constantly. And some of the discussion was even around, should we even be worried? And what's the time span these girls went missing? And is this a hoax? Is this real? And I was just very disturbed around the nature of the conversation, which was to not believe. And then also B, that it was happening sort of in this community uprising, but had not gained mainstream media attention. And so, you know, I believe God puts us on this earth with certain weapons, and the weapon he gave me is my keyboard. And so I started to think about how I could use my craft to sort of draw attention to this and make a difference. And without even knowing that Natalie existed, that was how Gabby Mosley was born, right? And I was like, oh, imagine if one of these girls grew up and her background was in PR. That would be cool, because what helps the media really get involved? What's going to push the media to get involved? And sort of spent a lot of time creating these characters around Gabby, and then building out the world. Ultimately, hoping that through entertaining people with this show, I could also bring attention to a real issue, so that the audience that watches our show, if even one family or one person reacts differently now when they see a missing persons poster, or reacts differently when they see someone out in the street in need of help, someone that looks like one of us. If even one person acts differently because they watched our show, then that would be the blessing. And so that was why the show was created. And then I found out the superheroes actually existed. Also, it was awe, because at the end of the day, what we do is make believe. And yet here.
All right. So I guess she got a show or something that she like I said, I was trying to hurry up. I don't know. But at least somebody's doing something to try to help young
But we
Black
need
girls.
more of these. We need more of these. We really do. And I know more people on this earth have this gift. This is a gift for somebody. But like I said, if everybody is doing their part, then it spreads. But if everybody's looking for everybody else to do something. But what about you? What are you doing? You know what I'm saying? What's your gifts? What were you put on this earth to do? And ask yourself, are you doing it? That's what's important. Are we doing what we were put on this earth to do? Because everybody has a gift and everybody was put here to do something. So if everybody is doing their part, we have a bigger picture. And it's going to start individually with you. And sometimes you may have 2 or 3 things that you're trying to do. But we have to start somewhere. I'll rest.
No, facts, and there is a toxic relationship, you know what I'm saying? I don't know if we can ever leave the Neanderthal alone for some reason.
Oh, God.
But, I really hope so.
Wait a minute. What did Malcolm X go out with? What's Malcolm X? Who told you? We need that. We need that every time this show starts. We need that. Because I think we as Black folk, we're so discouraged. We just looking for hope somewhere. And we're looking in all the wrong places. We got to come back. We got to come back to ourselves. We got to come back to ourselves and do for us. We got to stop looking to them to do everything for us. We look to them to teach our children. We look to them to find our children. We look to them to come on, you guys. These people don't even like you. You know they ain't looking for nothing. Why would they look for your children? And they killing them in the street. Let me say that again. Why would they look for your children if they murdering them in the street? I remember hearing a story where this man back in the day was a fireman. And he said he literally on purpose would leave Black people to burn. That's what he said. He was a firefighter. So they're everywhere. They are everywhere. They are your doctors, your lawyers, your fire department, your police officers, your banks, tellers, mortgage person, loan officers, they're teachers, principals. They're everywhere. And we don't think that we're in danger. We'll still walk around with nothing in our hands, nothing, no type of protection because you were in a white neighborhood. Are you crazy? That's where you need the protection. Go ahead, forecast. I rest.
No, I agree. I agree with you. You know, pull that one up. But yeah, you want to you know, just say anything.
I think that's it. We can't. What else can we say? We talk every Wednesday, hoping and praying that we're touching lives and opening up minds and open up new ideas. But we're gonna keep talking about our Black issues until we get it. Until we get it. We need to talk about something. I kind of mentioned it a little bit. That's going to be a show for next week. We need to understand when we got a good man, ladies, men, when we got a good woman that's got your back. We've been so used to being traumatized. And when you get a good one, you don't even know you got a good one. You didn't have such mess for so long, garbage for so long. You don't even know when you got a good woman. And you will mess that up and go right back to the trash. We got to do better. We need counseling. We need therapy. We really do. I rest. Most of all, I think we need to be separated from them. Somebody said, you want to go back to segregation? Yes, we shouldn't have never left. Because if we hadn't left, we'd be so much better off. I guarantee you it. Our children would be so better off, so much better off. We'd have built up our stuff. We'd have been on top of them already. Do y'all believe that? Because we was on our way. Black Wall Street, we had it. We just didn't put security around it. We just thought we was good. Like we always do, like we do now. We think we good. And we're not. Not even trying to be free. We're not good, y'all. What's coming? We're not good. We're going to need each other. And we better get there because some of y'all going to run to their houses. You think they're going to let you in their house? Them your buddies. You think you going in their house? You're going to come back to the hood for your safety. You got to turn your behind right back to the hood for your safety. Because they're not coming. They're not letting you in their house. That food is for them and theirs. They're not feeding you. You're an outsider. And you don't even know that. But you're going to find out. What movie was that man went to that white man's house? It was just the one that Obama them just did. What movie was that? With the big old ship on the beach. And the black guy went to the white guy's house and that was his friend. And he pulled a gun on him. You remember that? He thought he was like, dude, we friends. We friends? This is my family. This is for my family. Ain't that what he said? Blew the black man's mind, didn't he? How we friends? No, we ain't friends. Sorry. And that's going to be some of us running their house, looking for food, looking for medicine, looking for stuff that you should be packing in your house right now. You got the ports locked down. And I don't care if nobody say that's more than a strike. In Chinese over our ports right now. Y'all not thinking about this? They finna starve you. They're not even letting ships come in. The stores got so much food, but that's not going to last forever. You better be packing up some stuff now while you can. Water over here, food line used to be $2.50. It's $4.99. Tell me why. Y'all not concerned about this? You're still not packing up your water? You still don't have your perishables? You still don't have your matches? Your propane tanks? You still don't have any of this stuff ready for what's coming? You're going to die if you're not being prepared now. I have a list on my Facebook page what you need. You're going to die if you're not being prepared now. You waiting on them? They're not going to help you out because they're not going to be able to because America is done. You looking to them, to the government, for your food stamps? What happens when that program is gone? You either do this or you get this and you choose not to do that and your food stamps cut off. You got another side hustle? You better get one. Rather you got to come up with a transportation, rather you got to come up with something, you better get something. If you can make blankets, you better make some blankets. If you can go and get some generators and sell something, you got to do something. Anything, blankets, something. We sitting up here depending on them for what? People that don't like you. You depending on them for your every breath. That's very dangerous. That's very dangerous. You still got black folk with no weapons in their house. Are you out of your mind? If you sitting up here on this live and you don't have a weapon, shame on you. Mace, something, bullet, candy bars, peanuts. Okay, y'all read between the lines. We're not condoning justice. We're condoning that you guys protect yourself. Get ready for what's coming. Stop waiting till the last minute till you see the lollipop, and then you go get a mask and gloves, and ain't no more, because you should have saw it a year before. You guys should have been packing a year before now. Get your bug out bags. You may have to leave your house. Have your bug out bag, your ID, plastic bag, in a plastic bag, and a bag by the door with some canned goods in that bag. Have one in your car in case you can't get home. Have a plan for your kids to go. Where are they supposed to go if you can't get home and they at school? Where they're supposed to meet you at? Have a plan, family. Have a plan. It's coming sooner than you think. I'm not even going to say a year. I'm not even going to say that. I'm not even going to say 6 months. It's coming. Either before the election or right after it. Y'all better get ready. You got a few more months to go. And I hope you hearing. If you don't hear me, you need to look around you. Do some research. Hope you got your passports. Some of y'all still walking around here with no passports. What if you have to go? What if you have to go to another country because this country is burning up? They give you one chance to get out. You don't have a passport. Your ass ain't going nowhere. You're going to stay here and suffer with these crackers. Passport is $150. You could save $50, save $75 every 2 weeks and get your passport. Go to the passport office, the post office, and get your passport. $150, $130, $150 if you need a picture. Stop being so cheap. Go get your passport. I rest my mic.
No, I definitely agree with everything you said, Cassidra. And but like one thing you said, because I don't want to mess up what you said, Cassidra, but you know me, you know how I do.
Yeah.
I just want to show you the response of black people here.
And so even though this is not a celebration, it is a reflection to acknowledge that the spirit of Ahmaud defeated the lynch mob. The spirit of Ahmaud defeated the lynch mob. The spirit of Ahmaud defeated Marcus Aubrey.
Go, Marcus. You got this. Go, Marcus. All right.
Number one, I want to give all glory to God.
Yes.
Because that's who made all this possible.
Yes, it is.
I want to thank his mama. Yes. I want to thank my sisters and brothers. I want to thank my children for being strong through this rough time. Yes. Because I know it was hard what they had to deal with.
Yes.
Number two, I want to thank all y'all people for all the support y'all gave us. Because one of us did this.
There you go.
You know, one side did this.
That's right.
God put us all together to make this happen.
Oh, my God.
I can't do that. Oh, God, please forget. God don't work one side.
Yes.
God work two sides. All right, I'm going to put you here, I'm going to put you there. Amen. So y'all put together and work this thing. Amen. So, hey, that's what it's all about. Amen. Because if one side wouldn't work, it wouldn't have happened.
That's right.
You had people working when you wasn't working.
That's right.
Come on. When you wasn't working, you had people out here working, marching, going in these offices. Yeah. We conquered that lynch mob.
Yes.
We got that lynch mob. This history today. Letting you know that black kid life does matter. That's right. For real, all life matters.
I can't. Oh, Lord. Okay.
Oh, sorry.
So you know what? That's what's gonna get us killed right there. Cause you go on over there, try to get some, just like that black dude knocked at the door, the white man. He had the shotgun on there. They was buddies. knocked at his door. He said, "You ain't coming up in here. I ain't got no medicine for you." You know who got the medicine for him? A white dude that he didn't even know. His own. His own. I'm just saying. His own. But him and the black guy was supposed to be friends. Friends. So you calling the wrong people friends. You looking at your black woman, you don't call her a friend. You look at your black man, you don't call him a friend. You'll call them crackers that you laying up with a friend. And then they do your ass like they did. The OnlyFans did. What's that? That Nigerian boy? Stabbed him up, didn't she? And then lied about it.
So is that
and lied about it. But the coroner busted her out. Thank God he had some kind of moral with. I don't know what that was about. But she would have got away with it. If the coroner had said what she said, she would have got away with it. But we'll sit up here and sound like this fool here. And look at the peacock. Looking like a damn peacock behind him. Al Sharpton. Head too big for his body.
Oh man,
He's
shouts
sitting up
out
there.
to
Every time you see him, you already know it's some BS. Every time you see that dude, you know it's some BS. He been on that BS for a long time. He gonna die a horrible death. Because he sold his family out for them crackers for money. He been like that his whole life. His mama she got to be displeased with him. Well, she probably not, because she probably the same way. That's where he got it. That's sad. This whole that whole thing was sad right there.
Listen to it.
It was disgusting.
All life matter.
Yes.
Not just
All
black.
life.
We don't want to see nobody go through this.
Amen.
I wouldn't want to see no daddy watch their kid get lynched and shot down like that. That's right.
Oh, for real, all of
Yeah, you ain't gonna see no white kid getting lynched like that. Just show us who fought for his life. And thank God they was dumb enough to tape it, and the tape came out, as they would have got away with it. Dummies.
Man, I know.
Lowest IQ on earth.
I know Erica hate that video. Shouts out to Grandma used to say. Shouts out to Bakari for playing this. He said, thank God he gave a thank you speech for his son getting murdered.
Ain't that something? Gave a thank you speech. Thank you, God. Thank you, God, for what?
Yeah.
God didn't do that.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to.
God, maybe he meant another God that we don't know. He meant somebody else, because God we know and didn't have nothing to do with that. Or maybe that is the God that he served. Maybe he sacrificed his own son. What do you think?
For real, all lives matter. I don't know.
He sure said it, didn't he? All lives. What we doing? All lives matter. Okay.
Yeah.
Then they should have got away with murder then, huh? Should nobody have gone to jail then. If that's what you feel.
All right. Let me. My bad. I ain't mean to.
You know you're wrong, right?
I'm gonna play some of Highland Jones. Play Malcolm X. I gotta balance.
We can't change the influence of the peer group, parental involvement, student self-esteem, the curriculum, teacher expectation. At least we can make an attempt at that. Now, as I said earlier, there's at least one person in this room that may think it's ability. I want to pause and look at this, because if it's ability, then block colleges, independent block schools, the Effective Schools Project, magnet schools cannot produce a quality product. If it was ability, then block colleges that only receive 25% of the students but produce, they're called, you're trying to act white. And that's deep into brain on monitoring the peer group. And yet this may be one of our greatest competitors or influences on the minds of our children. It has gotten so bad that when black boys want to do a good job in school, they're labeled sissies. It's gotten so bad when black youth want to do a good job in school, they're called, you're trying to act white. And that's deep in two areas. First of all, here we are, the people.
Right, so we can't listen to the whole thing, but I'm gonna play this one for y'all. This is the last words for y'all.
Who taught you, please? Who taught you to hate the texture of your hair? Who taught you to hate the color of your skin to such extent that you bleach to get like the white man? Who taught you to hate the shape of your nose and the shape of your lips? Who taught you to hate yourself from the top of your head to the soles of your feet? Who taught you to hate your own kind? Who taught you to hate the race that you belong to? So much so that you don't want to be around each other. No, before you come asking Mr. Muhammad, does he teach hate? you should ask yourself who taught you to hate being what God gave you. You can't swim, and you worried about someone that's in the bathtub and can't swim. And that also deprives the government of revenue, and then puts you in jail for getting drunk. Your head. The most disrespected person in America is the black woman. The most unprotected person in America is the black woman. The most neglected person in America is the black woman. And as Muslims, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad teaches us to respect our women. We will kill you for our woman.
Right, so I'll leave it right there. You know, I wish I had the one of these like we sick boss, because
Yeah, oh my goodness. We sick.
But
I'm burning down.
yeah. Shouts out to Kofi, who was in the building. Appreciate you for listening, my brother. Koku, Bitter Medicine Podcast. Shouts out to Raw, who was in the building. My brother Anthony. Hope you get well, my brother.
Yes,
for real,
get
you know.
well soon, bro.
So you can come back on this show, my brother. We definitely miss you on here.
Yeah.
Shouts out to Matron. Y'all subscribe to her. Y'all go to her channel. She's gonna be reading tomorrow. So, and it's good information, I'm telling y'all, you know. And shouts out to Bakari, who was in the building. I appreciate y'all. And of course, definitely Realm in the Bush. Y'all support Cassidra and what she's doing. Y'all support Realm in the Bush. I appreciate you for coming through. Cassidra. I definitely do, you know. I've been making time to do this, you know.
I appreciate you doing it. I appreciate you for just allowing me to come. It's all about our people. That's what it's about. But thank you for the opportunity.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. And yeah, bro, you already know it's still what it is, you know. So you know, I don't know what to tell y'all, you know, we probably doomed, but I ain't gonna do much right now. Maybe we got hope, you know. So I'll just leave it at that. And as always, we have got to start standing for something, or we're gonna keep falling for anything.
Peace, family.